1 2 3 in the place to be. I'm your host, Adam Milton. Right now from me is.
The governor.
I'm busy, man. You know what's up?
And in the middle,
Jammer one.
yes indeed. And this is Guess How Said podcast. I am Adam Mill. All right. This man depends on how where it goes. Uh, I'm sure everybody have personal experiences or heard of crews breaking up. Um,
Mm-hmm.
this could be a very interesting topic. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that people, as far as the circle that me and God was a part of, as far as musically, I'm glad that people are starting to, after years, coming together slowly but surely and, starting to talk and invite on projects. You know what I'm saying? Last year was more like, I don't want to hear about that. Get out of my face. Don't send me nothing. I don't know them ninjas. You know what I'm saying? So it's good that certain projects and stuff and maybe some good, a lot of years are wasted, you know what I'm saying? But everything falls when it's supposed to fall. All right, so we're gonna let Quan Bizzle go first this time. Cause I think he got a little
Right.
crew. You know what's interesting real quick? I was just stating on him. And I was talking to Azim today on the phone, Gov. And he was talking about how technology has evolved
Yeah.
where you know how we would heaven search heaven and hell to find like a beat. I said we should loop RZA beats. You know what I'm saying? Catch that little beat and put on a cassette tape
Oh yeah.
and
Those
keep
wonder years.
yeah keep looping it right.
Yep.
Yeah, making pause tapes.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly. And then it went from and that's like early producing skills, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then then it went from that to someone make beats in your neighborhood or
You find
somebody that you
somebody
know
got a
make
drum
beats.
machine. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
you search. I mean, you go on a straight up what you call it soul journey to find this person to
Right.
make beats, right?
Yeah.
Now it's like you can get beats from Switzerland and Russia and stuff like that. The same thing with crews and features. Like it used to be a time where you were you had to wait on a feature and beg somebody or you didn't know this guy Chicago rhymed or this guy somewhere in Minnesota had skills. You go online and they see you the verse just like that within a matter of minutes.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I say
Mm-hmm.
all that to say this. My son, he has a crew, a rap group consists of people from Detroit, Atlanta, China.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's like the real art future right there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let you kick it off first, Quan Bizzle. As far as unless you want to kick it off first, or
Yeah. Of course.
all right. You got this little wave thing in my ear, man. It's killing me right
Wait,
here.
wait.
Yeah, cut it off, bro.
Let
Hold
me
on, you messing the vibe up right now. Yeah, thank you.
get off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Did y'all hear that?
Nah.
Okay, yeah, he had some type
No, they can't hear
experimenting on the other end, whatever, man. I don't know what he doing.
old people.
Okay, so we we talking about crews and
Mhm.
how they break up or whatever. So we want to get your perspective because once the seasoned vets start talking,
The
you
same.
may not get a word in, man. Real talk. So,
Man.
let you go first. Oh.
Look, see, being around this guy, for like all my life and watching him rap and grow and him going to shows and everything and going to the studio and all that other stuff, like I used to see from a personal experience, just from Jim Crow all the way to him having his own thing, how rap groups can be something and how rap groups again they can turn very nasty, right? Now from a physical experience, because everything is done online these days. From a physical experience is like, even though we have someone in our group that is from Baltimore, right? But I don't know how it is having a rap group on a physical experience, right? Um, but I'll say for online experience and trying again with trial and error and everything like that, I think a lot of reasons why a lot of rap groups or music groups in general they break apart is ego, ego, ego. Ego is the death of every hip hop group, whether that's an industry hip hop group or an underground hip hop group. Is ego. It's always going to be that one person that think they rhyme better than you, they look better than you, their post gets more recognition than your post. They dress better than you. You know what I mean? They have more connections than you. It's always going to be that one person with ego. And that's like a plague. It spreads just like COVID to the rest of the group. Then the rest of the group wants to outdo this person, outdo this person. Then you find yourself making music for each other and not for the people that are actually going to listen to your music. So you're losing the whole purpose. And that's leading me to my other because like you said, once you guys start talking, I'm not gonna get a word in, so I'm
Wow.
gonna enjoy this little time right now. But um, that leads me to my other point. When it comes to Baltimore, and like I said, a lot of people be like, no, Baltimore doesn't have a good hip hop scene. It doesn't have a good underground scene. Well, that's disrespectful because if someone that's really into hip hop and that's really listening to music, they will know that Baltimore, especially Maryland, has a decent hip hop scene. It has a decent underground scene. It's just it doesn't have a mainstream underground, a mainstream hip hop scene yet. You know what I mean? Like something like Philly. Philly just start getting their recognition. Like, well, actually, Philly been had their recognition, right? So I'm not gonna say something ignorant, but they just started getting mainstream recognition again, just like a couple years ago. You know what I mean? Um, but Baltimore never had that mainstream type of recognition in the hip hop world, and a lot of that is because a lot of Baltimore artists never really support each other. There's always someone that's not making music with someone that's not talking, that's not messing with somebody because of where they're from, 9 out of 10, what gang they rep, who they are, or it's a lot of factors, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I haven't had too many problems. I've been through like two rap groups so far. I haven't had too many problems because a lot of us are young people. And when you're younger, you're not the main focus, at least with some people, is not money, is not like all the other things that an older, more seasoned artist is gonna think about: money, splits, royalties, uh, industry type stuff, shows, advertisement, the cost of everything. We're just focusing on making music right now. You know what I mean? All that comes later, as you see. But for a young rap group, that's really all of it is about making music. But I say a lot of stuff, especially for the last rap group I was in that killed it, is ego. Ego's always going to kill it 100% of the time. And I feel like, man, even if you think you're better than somebody, even if you do rhyme better than somebody, even if you do have clout like that, always try to help and aid the other person because you're in the group for a reason. You know what I mean? Unless you join the group, because some people, excuse my language, some people join the group to jerk their egos off. I'm not gonna lie. So some people join groups for fans, and that's one thing I stress to my own group. I say if you join this, it's peaceful, it's vibe. Please don't try to make anyone to fans, bro. We're not your fans. We're not here to listen to your music. We're not here to deride you, nothing above that nature. We're here to make music. If you're not here to grow with us, you're not here to respect your journey, then with all due respect, don't go. Because some people they only go in rap groups so they can be the leader. It's all about themselves. So yeah.
In the words of Eddie Murphy, that boy good.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I agree.
All right, who's next? Who
I
want to go
agree.
next?
100%. It go when it comes to a lot of these ego definitely is a big thing because you got individuals. Everybody got their own individual goals. You're trying to do whatever. And when it comes to groups, rap groups, bands, I've been in bands too. You know what I mean? That's where I spend a majority of my time was in different bands. And a lot of things when it come down to it, those are all individual people that good at their own particular crafts. You know what I mean? Everybody good at their own individual. And sometimes as the individual, it's hard to turn yourself down so that the rest of everything can shine. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to shine bright, but everything's not meant to shine bright at the same time. So that's the part of it that I guess the wisdom of that is lacking in a lot of groups. That's why a lot of groups don't stay together. A lot of these ego things start to kick in because naturally, I mean, as a human being, when you start to see, you hear the crowd roar for to the left, hey, I don't put my hand up. Only get 3 claps. So then at that point, now you kind of feeling the type of way.
Yeah.
At that, you know what I'm saying? So as soon as that kick in, that's human nature starting to kick in. Like, how come I ain't getting, every time he say something, all you gotta do is smile, and there they go. I'm on here to do a whole orchestra together. They ain't even. So it is that starts to kick in. But a person that getting too caught up in that, they forgetting the whole aspect of without his getting that going, this whole vehicle's not moving. You know what I mean? A lot of people getting so caught up in why is this guy getting so much love? That's great that guy getting his love. That's bringing in all this money. That's bringing in all this attention, all this exposure that we weren't getting before. You know what I mean? So lock in with the group. Like Quan was saying, lock in with the group. Everything goes good. But as soon as everyone get caught in their individual accolades, it doesn't work. Just see it in sports all the time. You know what I mean? We see it. We even see it in the government when people getting caught up in their own individual things, when they not working on a common goal. That's where we see a lot of organizations break up between like charitable organizations, religious organizations. A lot of them break up for the same reason. Ego starts to kick in. I want to be known as the one. How come they talking to them instead? Those guys over there. That's what I think also hurt Baltimore when it comes to a lot of hip hop scene too. Is one crew is up. Everybody talking about them. They not talking about us. We don't rock with them no more because
it's so divisive.
Very divisive. Very divisive. When in reality, if that crew is rocking and this crew is rocking too, then eventually both of these crews got all this stuff going on where now you got a whole industry start moving up in the city. You know what I mean? That's what happened in Philly. That's what happened in a lot of these other cities. You know what I mean? To the point now that it's like the whole machine now. It's like a whole machine. People working, they don't even know that they're working together between the clubs, the promoters, you know what I mean? The studios and all these other things. It's like all these other things that could be growing alongside this type of thing. But the mentality that we have to tear each other down seems to be pervasive.
I think that's going to go to the another topic, segue into the other topic that we was talking about. Why is Philly and New York and Jersey is more known and unified than Baltimore. Before I let you cook, Jammer, I want to add one thing before my old brain forgets it. You said something, Gov, about the one being the one. I think that if you look at hip hop, like anything else in life, everything has a pattern and a formula. And if you follow that, 90% of the time, success falls right in your lap. Everything that these rap groups in the past have in common, even before hip hop, when you dealt with rock and roll and soul music, right? They had a main front man. Like you said, Gov. Method Man was Wu-Tang was Method Man. Flip Mode was Busta Rhymes. The Lox was Jadakiss. The list goes on and on. You get what I'm saying? I think the divide, as you mentioned again, Gov, comes from when jealousy creeps in, or you're the front man. Okay, you got us here. When my album going to come out? Do you got to make a second album before my first one come out? Why the girls going to your locker, your room other than mine? I keep getting the fat chicks. You keep getting the models. You know what I'm saying? Right. So little tedious things when they forget the actual goal. You know what I'm saying? It's about people knowing their role and doing their role to the letter. You know what I'm saying? The best of their ability. My bad, man. Go ahead, Jam. I'll go on.
I agree with what everybody said. I think ego do have a lot to do with a lot of people splitting up. But I'm going to take a different take on it because a lot of when you think of like some of the best groups, most of the best groups that stayed around the longest, they stayed around because everybody knew to play their position. You know what I mean? Like if you got a guy in a group that does the bookings, like he might perform, but he also does the bookings. That's his job. Then you got another guy who's the star of the group. And then you got another guy who's the writer, you know? and they all bounce off each other, that's a harmony. And they respect each other, they're fans of each other, that's a harmony. And when you have groups who do that, usually one of the people in the group is like the heart of the group. You know what I'm saying? And the heart of the group is the guy or the lady who keeps the group together. And a lot of the times this is a different take. When groups split up, it's because they lost their heart. You know what I mean? The heart of the group. Either something happened to them, they God forbid, they might have died, they might have lost interest, they might have moved somewhere, they might have got a girlfriend and decided they didn't want to do it no more when they got lit, all of that kind of stuff. And once the group loses its heart, then it's hard for the rest of the members in the group to keep it together. It's hard for them to come up with ideas. It's hard for them to find motivation. Because a lot of times the person that's the heart of the group motivates everybody. Sometimes they keep everybody together. The heart of the group is the person who's friends with everybody in the group, while other members in the group might have issues with each other. But the heart is the best friend with everybody.
Right.
And he's like a mediator. You know what I mean? Sometimes when that person is no longer available, that group will definitely fall apart. And that happens in a lot. I've seen that happen a lot.
Right.
As
Like
far as ego go, that's just a matter of when success hits. Like you said, one member might look at another member who's popular with the girls. You know what I mean? And he want the girls, but he don't have that kind of swag.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen with Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah.
Back
Real
in the
talk?
early 90s.
Really?
On an interview. Yeah, I saw that happen with Tribe Called Quest. It was a show on BET. I think it was called Video LP, where they would interview people and let them perform on the show. And they would also let people call in. All the girls was calling in,
Q-Tip.
and they were saying, "Q-Tip, you so sexy." And you could see the look on Fife's face. He was getting agitated.
Right.
He was like, "Man, I don't be getting no props, man."
Right.
Like,
Wow,
and a few years down the road, they split up. That's why I always kind of felt like Fife was the issue when Tribe Called Quest split up. So it'd be stuff
5-footer.
like that, man.
Damn, no
It'd be
love,
stuff like that.
no love for the 5-footer. That's crazy.
Yeah, people.
Crazy.
I remember one girl called up and she was like, "Oh man, Q-Tip, you so sexy, you so dope. And man, I can't wait to come to the show, this, that, and the fourth." And she's like, "Oh yeah, the other two, y'all good too." And then she got off the phone.
Wow. I mean, he should have took the Wu-Tang approach, all the women went for meth, right? Not judging men, but
that's what I was saying. Wu-Tang Clan, everybody in Wu-Tang knew how to play their position.
Right.
Yeah, because they left bought the ladies.
Meth be the star of the group. You know what I'm saying? They recognized RZA as the leader, and RZA was the heart of the group for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I said, like once RZA came to a point where he just didn't really want to do it no more, then they pretty much all went their separate ways.
That was it. Now from a personal experience, right? I think as far as Jim Crow, when when things hit the fan and I knew that, okay, I think that this ship gonna sink before we even set a sail, right? 2 incidents. The performance in DC, right? And
what happened in DC?
Oh man, see, I wasn't gonna go into detail, but since you insist,
come on, man, you gotta walk that down, man. You gotta walk it down. I gotta know about.
Since you insist,
They're gonna tease it.
Okay, all right. How I remember it. Okay, my Mandela effect. How I remember it, right? Gov, I was upset with you because you didn't go, and I was like, "Yo, you like the RZA of the group, bro. You gotta come. Even if you don't rap, just be on stage, goddammit, and wave your hands to the air like you just don't care. You know what I'm saying?"
But I didn't see the purpose in that at the time. Now I do.
Yeah, man, I was heated. Why I didn't go? Because he was babysitting, and I was like, "Yo, for you to be such a dope MC and knowing that your talents can get us to the next level, you're not taking it serious enough. You get what I'm saying? I'm quite sure
Mhm.
if you wanted to go somewhere where you really want to be, you'll find a babysitter.
Yep.
Um,
He knew that show was coming up. Come
yeah,
on, man.
yeah, come on.
He
You
knew
know what I'm
about that
saying?
show.
And
Mhm.
and then, you know, because I traveled with Cole. I was in the van with Cole. That's another story for another time. Oh my God. Uh, Cole was basically there for Cole. Whatever Cole wanted to perform, he was just there for Cole. Now, I will say one thing. I appreciate Cole. Cole did jump on stage with me, right? And did his one little twos, but it was mainly the night for Cole. You know what I'm saying? I looked at Cole as I met the man. I really did. But it was all about Cole that night. But the dagger in the heart was Mr. T. Lucas. If you're hearing this, man, we talked about this, and you already apologized sincerely, but I'm going to say it because my man Jammer want to hear the story. When we got there, I'm solo. I feel like I'm alone now, right? And I'm sure they probably got their stories about me, but I feel like I was alone. So here I am. I really don't like to, perform because I have, I'm an introvert at heart. You feel what I'm saying? Really don't like to be around large crowds and stuff like that. I'm nervous. I'm doing a very amateur performance where they can hear your rhyming with your vocals or whatever.
Yep.
Gov sent a wrong song or something like that. Something went wrong. Someone haywire at the last minute. Something went. If I can, it's my Mandela effect. Let me cook. So, but the icing on the cake, the dagger in the heart was Mr. Travis Lucas, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. The way he just treated the group like just so ice cold with it. And then he before we perform, he gets me backstage like we in what's that movie about Eminem? What was the movie?
8 Mile.
8 Mile Part 2, DC version. He's staring at me. Now it's you. You got to be the one. You got to perform at a higher level. It's all about you. I'm sitting here like, nigga.
That's how I get hyped. That's how I get hyped.
Yeah, I like, nigga, the producer bailed out. The lyricist, he decided he want to bake cookies at night, bake cookies with the kids and watch movies. And the one I deemed the star is all about him. He bought his little crew. He didn't give a damn about Crow at this point. So I'm like, all right, man, I'm alone. So I'm thinking, okay, look, listen, Travis Lucas part of the crew, right? Part of the group.
Mm-hmm.
If you come on stage, bro, that's going to mean the world to me. Why this nigga never popped up on stage? Why, when I performed, this dude went in the back? He went out of the crowd. He was there for everybody else, front and center. But when it came to his own crew, my man was like, I gave you the pep talk, now go and swim with the sharks, damn it. While I go in the back and chill out and talk to other rap groups. I said, you know what? This is the beginning of the end. This is the beginning of the end right here. And one more quick story. Gov posted up Revolution on World Star. It made a lot of views, did it not? I think it outdid Jim Jones. I forgot what song Jim Jones was doing at the time, but it did a little bit more numbers than Jim Jones, right? Numbers was going up. So we happy. So we're excited. We go, meeting like this, we all of us on the phone. Boom, 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 boom. So we like, all right, let's work on part 2. You know what I'm saying? Let's work on another album. You know what I'm saying? And Paul Krimali, he always get caught up in the mix. You know what I'm saying? He's like affiliate. He's like, why am I even on the phone? So, like, who invited you? I think Gov invited him. But anywho, everybody was in such different directions. Cole was like, I'm focusing on my acting career. I bailed out on it because at that time, Gov beats, we wasn't feeling at that time. So Gov was like, y'all ain't feeling my beats. Ain't no point in me being here. You know what I'm saying? And I said, look, if y'all don't want Gov to produce on the album, then let him know. I ain't gonna let him know because he already blamed me for a whole bunch of stuff. So so I said, look, do this. Let Gov perform a few beats on the album, 3 to 4 beats. So, because he crew, but let him focus on the rhyming because he got rhyming skills too. You get what I'm saying? The Gov didn't do a lot of rhyming on the first album. And I said, while y'all do all that, Azim and Travis, y'all present that. Y'all go ahead and produce this project. Getting back to the views on Revolution, made a lot of numbers. First thing Travis say, they could be phantom views. And I said, nigga, if they phantom views, you all up in the comment responding to every comment. They can't be phantom views. You get what I'm saying? Long story short, everyone was so divisive and felt that they was being cut out, and rightfully so. They were being cut out in certain incidents, right? And that was the last of Jim Crow. And it saddens me because that could have been potentially a dangerous group with a fresh concept that have not been presented in the DMV ever. You get what I'm saying? That was a dangerous group, and it's sad that it just withered away, man. It's gotta make a documentary about it. That's my Mandela effect.
Well,
that's how I remember things. It could be different.
When I met y'all at what was that Tuesday night Love and Hip Hop? That's where I met y'all at. That's where I first saw y'all.
Downtown.
And I was actually
It was a 3-man
happy.
crew.
Yeah, I was actually happy to see y'all because I was one of the I was like the only like cat from the old school who would attend this event.
Right.
And I was like, yo, like finally like some guys that's like around my age is at the set, and y'all was killing, man. Like it was dope.
Yeah.
Y'all seen
that wasn't the whole crew. There was just 3 of us. It was just
No, but here's the crazy thing.
It was 3 of y'all.
The crazy thing about all of that, in retrospect, is
it's a real quick. It was a 6-man crew, but you only saw 3 of us that night. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were all in our own separate spots. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There was never the beginning come together and the start of it, because it was like
so nobody ever really came to the same place.
No,
it was hard for y'all to get together in the same place.
See, this was like a remnant of the whole thing. It was like the whole coalition thing. But see, Ron was the heart of that.
Okay.
Ron was the heart of that, but he passed away in 2005. So then the group pretty much splintered. And then kind of like remnants of that group came together as the Crow. You know what I mean? So,
okay.
But see, it still had a lot of that. We was trying to resurrect that whole thing of Ron back then. But we can't.
Oh, all right.
I can't be Ron. You see what I mean? Ron is Ron.
Yeah.
So y'all were on the scene in the 90s?
Late 90s. Yeah.
Late 90s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So back then, there was a bunch of us back then, but Ron was like the guy. He was the guy. He made the beats.
Yeah, he was the RZA. He was the RZA of the crew.
Right. So he was like the guy, and it was in the middle. So a lot of us, we didn't really interact on the regular like that. We all went to Ron. So
okay.
Right. So then after he passed, I kind of was like, all right, I'm gonna try to do that. But at the same time, the relationship weren't the same. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. We had leadership qualities, but that's because you're a leader doesn't mean that you can lead in certain situations.
Right.
So like I explained again, my Mandela effect, I had a vision in Atlanta because I was living in Atlanta at the time, right? And I pitched it to Gov, and then I told Gov, let's start a group, and within that group it was members within the coalition.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? And it was like a rebranding, like a breath of fresh air. Like coalition didn't die; it was just presented in a different package.
Right. Well, see, I guess since it wasn't a thing of everybody thought of it, everyone fully buy in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, so when everyone doesn't fully buy into the thing, like, all right, this is gonna be the group we in. It was like, yeah, we still doing this, but I'm doing this too, though. Because that's what I was saying like that. I was talking like that. Yeah, I'm in that, but I'm doing this. So everybody was pretty much doing that. So everybody was pretty much on that page. So when you got that going on, all these conflicting things, it caused a lot of misinterpretations. Like I was misinterpreting what was being told. I was saying things from that misinterpretation back. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
So when you got that coming into the mix, And then years later, when you step back from it, from the cloud of it, and actually talk about it, and really what goes through and what really works and what doesn't work, and we're like, we really were on the same page, but we just was reading from different parts of the page. We was on the same page.
Exactly.
I was reading at the top of the page. You was at the bottom, and we over there disagreeing about the same thing. When it turned out we was really agreeing. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
That's what I think. But then with the ego, I don't know if it was really a big ego thing with that per se. I think it was more about the fact that people just were not together in the beginning. So,
Yeah, and they weren't fully buying in.
so when it came time to set up for a show, for example, like if you're doing a show, any other group does a show, there's practices before. So we know we're gonna do beforehand. You know what I mean? We ain't
Exactly.
Yeah.
we weren't handling anything like that. We were just saying, all right, well, I'm just gonna do this and send me that. You know what I mean? So a lot of this stuff was just getting thrown together and at the point, and then when it's time to show up for it and it's falling apart, how come it's falling apart? It's your fault. No, it's your
Yeah, yep. Everybody
fault.
blaming
Doing all
everybody.
this. So in reality,
So how long were y'all together
whatever.
before
Well,
things started falling apart?
like a good year, right?
Yeah, to take the time to really put it together, and then
Like a good year. Yeah, because
Oh,
we
okay.
had inner bickering like it's six of us, then Kes, Kes spit too, he rhymed too. And Kes like, look, I ain't really know I was like a member of the group. I'm just a cameraman, but I'll feature on a song or two. And I'm like, all right, damn, we had you in a vision. And then you have group members calling up and like, I don't think homeboy's serious enough. He ain't in it. And then you had creative differences.
that's natural.
Because if you look at the album The Uninvited, right? Which
Mhm.
I take the blame for it, which I was whipped and lashed and crucified for, say that didn't turn out right. I take the blame for it, Gov.
No, I think that was a group effort. And
Yeah, but if you look at The Uninvited, you can see the talent there, and you can see the separation, what you call it, the divisive there. Like these guys are talent. It's like bringing. All right, it was. It's like put in a sports analogy, making a dream team.
Mhm.
Everybody's good, but the chemistry.
not
You can tell the chemistry could be something more than what it is.
right.
It's just that it's not gelling right because you don't have the right coach.
That's all.
You don't have the right leadership.
Right.
It
Yeah.
just fell on deaf ears from business perspective, right?
Yeah. 'Cause
You had one person said that my manager said that I'm not, y'all guys are not good for my brand. Then he had to wrestle with that and come back and say he fired his manager. You know what I'm saying? It was just crazy, bro. I think we all need to sit down if we can and have a conversation about it. But Gemma One,
Yeah,
man,
that would be good.
it was crazy, man. It was a group of talented brothers that just didn't harness. It's like putting a great sports team together with no one really. Everybody got a certain agenda. I want a championship. I'm here for the money.
right.
I'm here for the women. I just need to. I'm here for the promotion. I don't care about us winning at all. So that's the sum it all up.
I came to get 15 rebounds. That's it.
That's it.
I'm only
That's
coming
it.
here to play. I only want 15 rebounds. After that, I'm not rebounding anymore.
Yeah.
So now the
And
game's on the line. Game's on the line.
Yeah.
I already got my 15. So
I'm good. Yeah.
you know, it's weird. It's almost like you have to. It's like it has to be heaven sent in a way to be in a group that is so harmonious that y'all can go the distance.